Hello, ladies and gents. Welcome to Disney's Mary Poppins, presented by Orange County Children's Theatre. Please take a moment right now to silence your mobile phones, and as a courtesy to our cast and your fellow audience members. Please no recordings or photographs during the performance, and absolutely no food or drinks allowed in the theatre. And now, the practically perfect telegrammers! Winds in the east, there's a mist coming in, like something is brewing and about to begin. Can't put me finger on what lies in store, but I feel what's to happen, all happened before. A father, a mother, a daughter, a son. The threads of their lives are all raveling undone. Something is needed to twist them as tight as a string you might use when you're flying a kite. Chim chimney, chim chim, cherry chim chaloo.
Hurry up, Jane. Let's run.
Come back here, little blighters. You've got to finish your lesson.
I can't do my lessons if I'm flying a kite. And you can't make us your only nanny.
Oh, it's not you two again. Come along home.
Good morning, Bet.
Morning, Miss Luck, and how's little Willoughby today?
Oh, very well. Thank you, Bet. Willoughby.
By Jove, if it isn't the beauteous Miss Lark I spy on the horizon.
Oh, Admiral. Willoughby.
Morning, Admiral. How's it looking?
Dark clouds are gathering over number 17. Storm warnings overdue.
Of all London's byways where I doth me cap, oh, this one's the hardest to find on a map. Cherry Tree Lane has sweet as a song, but the nannies who come here, they don't stay for long. Chim chimney, chim chim, cherry chim chaloo.
Katie Nana! Katie Nana!
Those little beats have run away from me for the last time.
And who gets stuck with the children with no nanny in the house? Me!
That's who. I've had my say, Mrs. Prill, and that's all I'll say. I'm done with this house forever.
Well, good riddance then,
has gone and isn't any wonder. Driven off, demented by your children's pranks. Do you really think I made another blunder? What on earth am I to say to Mr. Banks? George, dear, I'm feeling so bereft, dear. Another nanny's left, dear. Every nanny goes, we're unlucky, I suppose. We are never going to find the perfect nanny.
Nonsense! Precision and order, that's all that I ask. While running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain. Cause I remain the sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane. Count! The simple truth is, you've engaged 6 nannies in the last 4 months. They've all been unqualified disasters. A nanny should govern. A nanny should rule. A nanny is a paragon who suffers no fool. A nanny's a stalwart. Our children would gain by having such a nanny in Cherry Tree Lane.
Of course, George, but...
So take control of situations. Show your authority when interviewing staff. You know your role. They know their stations. Efficiency and forethought cut the jobs in half. I always thought that Katie Nana...
I thought she would be firm with the children. She always looked so cross.
Winifred, never confuse efficiency with a liver complaint. Umbrella!
If only we could find someone like your own nanny.
I'm afraid that's not realistic, my dear. Few women alive can manage Miss Andrews' standards of efficiency.
Precision and order, he wants nothing less. It's like an army bed.
Yes, when we're in the mess.
No wonder the nannies are driven insane. We're living in a madhouse. Cherry Tree Lane.
Now, Winifred, if you do want to please me...
Oh, you know I do, George.
Very well, then place an advertisement in the Times stating that Jane and Michael Banks require the best possible nanny at the lowest possible wage.
We'd better give them ours before they make another mistake.
Now, I would stress that
Mother,
Oh, what's that you're holding, dear?
we've written our own advertisement.
What on earth?
Oh, George, please. I think we should hear it.
Now, Winifred, none of your theatrics.
It won't hurt to listen.
Wanted, a nanny for 2 adorable children.
Adorable. Well, that's debatable, I must say.
If you want this choice position, have a cheery disposition, rosy cheeks, no wart. That's the part I put in. Play games, all sorts. You must be kind, must be witty, very sweet and very
Of
pretty.
all the ridiculous...
George, please.
Take us on outings, give us treats, sing songs, preach. Never wrong or cruel, never feed us castor oil or brew. Love us as a son and daughter, and never smell of moldy water. I put that within 2. If you won't scold and dominate us, we will never give you cause to hate us. We won't hide your spectacles so you can't see. Put toads in your bed or pepper in your tea. Hurry, nanny. Many thanks. Sincerely, Jane and Michael Banks.
That is quite enough common rock for one day. Will you please go upstairs so I can get to work?
They were only trying to help.
It won't help anyone to make me late. Where's my hat?
George, dear.
Hat!
I thought you put it down there.
Hat!
I'm sure a bowler hat will simply
Do
disappear.
you think you'll find a nanny? Oh, here it is.
Doesn't run away.
He's brusted with boot holes.
Precision and order, that's all that I ask. The running of a household, a straightforward task. The children, the servants, are all your domain.
I remain the sovereign. Mind you use the day well.
You remain the sovereign.
I shall be home at 6 o'clock sharp.
He remains a sovereign of Cherry Tree Lane.
Good morning.
Yes?
I've come in to answer the advertisement.
Advertisement? What advertisement? We haven't placed any, not yet.
George and Winifred Banks live here, do they not?
Yes, Mr. and Mrs. Banks live here.
And you are looking for a nanny?
Well, I suppose, but
Let me see. Play games all sorts, which I most certainly can. Take us on outings, give us treats.
Michael, it's our advertisement.
Rosy cheeks and fairly pretty. There's no objection on that score, I hope?
Oh, of course not.
I'm glad to hear it.
Oh, take it up with Mrs. Banks. She manages all that side of things. Nothing domestic has anything to do with me. Oh, and don't forget your references.
I make it a rule never to give references.
Oh, but I thought it was usual.
A very old-fashioned idea to my mind. The best people never require them now.
I see. You will have every third Thursday evening off from 5 till 9.
The best people give every second Wednesday from 6 till late, ma'am, and that is what I shall take.
Oh, I see. Well, it is all settled then.
As long as I am satisfied, I'll see the children now, thank you.
Of course. You will find they're very nice children. Now, this is
Mary Poppins. Jane, don't stare, and close your mouth, Michael. We are not a codfish. Best foot forward. Split spot.
Oh, Mrs. Brill, we've hired a new nanny. She passed the interview then. Or I did.
Very tidy, I must say. Who's responsible for that?
Mrs. Me! I am. I like to keep things neat.
Do you indeed? Well, I look forward to making use of that. If there's one thing I appreciate, it's a child whose word I can depend on. Who's he when he's at home?
That's Valentine. He's mine.
From the look on his face, I'm not sure he'd agree with you.
He's just a doll, and I don't want to play with him now.
Treat him like that, and I'm not sure he'd like to play with you. Now, first things first, I always say the proper place to hang a hat is on a hat stand.
There's nothing in it. We'd better keep an eye on this one. She's tricky. Mary Poppins, how could you know what we wanted in a nanny when we made our list?
Your list? I'm not an item in the weekly shop, thank you very much.
How did you come then? It's just as if the wind blew you here.
It did. Now, stand up there. Just as I thought, a noisy, mischievous, troublesome little boy.
You're making that up. A noisy
Now you... Thoughtless, short-tempered, and
I
untidy.
don't believe you. Let me.
By the time the wind is blown, the weather's in around, I'll show you if I can. No matter what the circumstance, for one thing I'm renowned. My character is spick and span.
What about your measurements, Mary Poppins?
I'm practically perfect in every way.
Practically perfect.
So people say, each virtue virtually knows no bounds. Each trait is great and painfully sound. I'm practically perfect from head to toe. If I had a fault, it would never dare to show. I'm so practical. credentials. Perhaps you have a few questions.
Not temperamental,
Never.
or grouchy or rough.
Oh, the very thought.
Will you stay tender when the going gets tough?
Quite the contrary.
Do you read stories without a big fuss? Or have objections to playing with us?
Oh, I like games, but I choose them.
But that's not fair!
Some minor improvements may not go amiss, but at all times you must remember this.
You're practically perfect in every way.
I guarantee
Practically perfect. We hope you'll stay.
each virtue virtually knows no bound. Each trait is great
And hiddenly sound.
and it resounds. It's hard. Jane, my hat. I'll take my telescope, thank you.
But that's not fair.
I didn't say I was fair, I said I was. Practically perfect, and here's my name. By the time I leave here, your book will be the same. You'll be practically perfect.
Practically perfect.
We will be practically perfect in every Come on, children, best foot forward.
Chim chimney, chim chim chiroo. I does what I likes, and I likes what I do. Today I'm a screever, and as you can see, a screever's an artist of highest degree. And it's all me own work from me own memory.
Oh, lummy, not ease again.
Come on, Mr. Parkkeeper. It's just me pictures like it always is. There's no harm in 'em.
I'll be the judge of that. This is my park, and I say you're interfering with public railing. Now I want them removed this instant, or else I will call the police. Just you watch it, that's all. Just you watch it.
Stay right where you are. I know that silhouette anywhere. Mary Poppins!
It's nice to see you, Bert.
Well, I must say you do look swell.
How does he know you? He can't know you. You've only just arrived.
I wasn't born 1 minute before I walked into your house, Michael Banks. Have you met these two, Bert?
I've seen him running about, chasing a kite.
It isn't a real kite.
So what are you up to?
Mary Poppins says it's game called a walk in the park. Some game. I'd rather eat spinach.
Come on, Bert. You're due for a break, and you promised you'd take me out when we met again. Have you forgotten?
Of course I ain't Mary, but
Oh dear. Never mind. My treat. And no one's charging for the trees in the sky, are they?
Mary Poppins, is he really coming with us?
Why shouldn't he?
Well, to start with, he's very dirty. Father would never approve.
what's that?
You're too dirty, and we don't want to go to the stinky park anyway.
Oh, yes you do, because when you walk with Mary Poppins, you go to places you never dreamed. And if she says it's a game, she's got something in mind. You can be certain of that.
That's a picture of the park, isn't it? No, that's not the park. Not our park, anyway. That tree is a lot brighter green, and the sky is quite a different blue.
I think you'll find it just the way I've drawn it. All that it takes is a spark. Then something plain as a park becomes a wonderland. All you have to do is look anew, then you'll understand. Why, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Mary makes your heart so light.
Oh, really?
When your day is grey and ordinary, Mary makes the sun shine
You're
bright.
talking nonsense,
Her
Bert.
happiness is blooming all around her.
daffodils are smiling at the
I
door. We're merry older and you feel so grand. Your heart starts beating like a big brass band.
You've enough brass for all of us.
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love. Come on, you two.
Boring, just like other nannies thinking. Pops are good for us. It's just dancing grannies. I don't understand all the fuss. Is she doing it to spite us? We could lose her for a love. Perhaps it's all a plot. I'll tell you what. She seems so different, but I bet she's not. There is nothing to excite us in the park. What was that?
You're quite wrong, you know.
Who are you?
I'm Nelius. Surely you know that. You sat beneath me often enough. Why, I've waited half a century to take a walk on a sunny day like this.
In the glorious day, bright as a morning in May.
I feel like I could fly.
Have you ever seen the castle green or a bluer sky?
Oh, it's a jolly holiday with Mary. Better days I've never known.
You can ask the passing statue Mary.
Nothing's ever set in stone.
Morning, Mary.
Morning, Constable.
You do look tip-top, if I may say so.
Thank you, Bert, and you, Faye.
Each man up with his dog will stand agog to see our statue take a gentle tug. It's a jolly holiday with Mary. No wonder that it's Mary that we love.
It's a jolly holiday with you, Bert. Gentlemen like you are few. Though you're just a diamond in the rough, Bert, underneath your blood is blood is blue. You never think of pressing your advantage. Forbearance is the hallmark of your creed. A lady needn't fear when you are near. Your sweet gentility is crystal clear.
It's crystal clear.
It's a jolly holiday with you.
It's a jolly holiday.
A jolly, jolly holiday with you.
Mary Poppins, of course.
How do you know Mary Poppins?
She's an old friend of my father's.
Your father? You're a statue. You can't have a father.
Well, if that's true, then why do I miss him so much?
Isn't he one of the other statues?
No, he lives far away from here.
Do you really miss him?
Wouldn't you miss your father if you hardly ever saw him?
I'll have to think about that.
That's it, that's what it was.
What?
There's a statue missing.
Do you mean you've lost your marbles?
It's your fault. I knew we should have had trouble when we first came, and now there's a... Ah! Oh, Lummy!
Will you play with us again?
Of course I will. I'm not going anywhere.
Then we'll see you soon. Goodbye, Nelius!
Goodbye.
Nelius must be so lonely. Could his father ever come to stay? Anything can happen if you let it. How long will you stay? We'll see. Okay, I'll stay till the wind changes. Now, run along in.
Good night, Jane. Good night, Michael. Good night, Mary.
Good night, Bird.
Jane and Michael want to say goodnight.
Tell them you've given me the message.
George, please.
Oh, Daddy! We had a fantastic day. We sang with a busker, danced with a statue, and even met Queen Victoria. You wouldn't have approved, but...
Then why did you do it?
Daddy, can I have a kite? A proper one?
Could you fly it?
You can always teach me.
And when would I have the time to do that?
Daddy, who is the father of Nelius?
Will you please let me get on? Good night.
Poor Michael. All he cares about is flying kites. And his beloved astronomy, of course.
I used to love astronomy when I was his age, but my nanny, Miss Andrews, soon beat it out of me.
I suppose we do need a nanny, George. Is it out of the question to do without one?
Of course we need a nanny. All the best people have nannies, so the wives can do charity work and entertain. Which reminds me, how's your party coming along?
I'm not sure. It seems so odd to send out invitations to people I hardly know.
But the people you should know. Remember, by your friends ye shall be judged.
But that's the point. They're not my friends. Actually, I heard today from Clemmy Bunting. She's rehearsing for a new play. I thought I
How
might
many
ask
times
her.
must I tell you? I wish you to sever all connection with that part of your life.
George, I was an actress. Lots of people find that interesting. Though you always talk as if I should be ashamed of it.
Well, it's not exactly something to be proud of. Winifred, dearest, I'm only thinking of you. I wish people to admire you and respect you.
I know, George, but sometimes it's hard.
It is not hard. It's your job to be Mrs. Banks.
And what is your job?
To pay for everything. What is it?
I was only going to kiss you.
Oh, all right. Are you going to say something to Mary Poppins about this afternoon?
I don't think so.
Very well, just make sure she's doing things our way and not hers. What good are rules if you can bend them? We need a man who is disciplined and stern. With boys and girls, you don't befriend them. I fear that Mary Poppins has a lot to learn.
Being Mrs. Banks should be an easy role, and yet it's one which I don't seem too good at. On the whole, I have a comfy home, I have a simple life, I have a name which tells the world I'm someone else's wife. Being Mrs. Banks, what does that entail? Facing tests of character, I always seem to fail. And as for his best people, well, I'd like to say, no thanks.
or swim, see what you learn. Me, I was told when I was small, just learn a trade, so I learned them all. Chim chimani, chim chim, chiree.
Good morning, Bert. Swabbing the decks today, I see.
Gotta keep the street ship-shape, Admiral.
And how are things aboard number 17? All smooth sailing with Mary Poppins, I trust.
It's rough weather on every voyage, Admiral.
Ah, Miss Lark. What those children need is a touch of the cat and a night on the yardarm.
What those children need, Admiral, is a touch of happiness. Willoughby!
Oh, Miss Broom, don't make the sandwiches too early. They'll get stale before the guests arrive.
Everything's under control, Mum.
Oh, what about the cake?
Cooling on the tray, waiting to be iced.
And you're quite sure you know how to ice it?
Quite sure. And in case you're worried, I've not been exchanged by the fairies for a total nincompoop.
No!
No.
Well, I'll just go up and check on the drawing room.
I like to be outful.
I'd like to be rich, but the good Lord thought otherwise.
Mother wants you in the drawing room.
Well, she can't ask me. I've got enough on my plate as it is.
She says you can tell Robertson A what to do.
Does she indeed? Well, why don't I go and have a smoke near the gasworks for good measure?
Please, Mrs. Brill, I don't mind, honest.
All right. I will give you one task and one task only. And so help me, if you get this wrong, I will swing for you and sing as they pull the lever.
All right. What is it?
Put the icing tools next to the cake. I'll need a bowl of hot water to warm them. I'll make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Icing tools, cake, hot water, and I'll make the icing as soon as I'm back.
Now, do you think you could manage that?
Is that all?
For you, yes. For me, no. Once the cake's done, I have the sandwiches next because Madame wants them fresh. So I can't start them until there's no time to finish them. I swear, a slave in ancient Rome was a pleasure cruise compared to my life in this house. Oh.
Well, don't just stand there, Robertson A.
Right. No.
What are you looking for?
A bowl for the water.
Michael, what if we make the icing? Because we don't know how. Don't be so feeble. Get the eggs. If Mrs. Brill can do it, it can't be that hard. Are there eggs in icing? There are in mine.
Oh, I don't think Mrs. Brill, thank you.
Then she will be guilty of great ingratitude. Is it supposed to look like this?
It doesn't look like that Mrs. Brill does it.
Don't be impertinent and get me the cake.
Honestly, Miss Jane, I was only trying to be helpful. If you would...
Mrs. Brill, go up and get ready now. What have you done? Oh no, Robertson A! Robertson A? Oh dear. Should I call a doctor?
I don't think that will be necessary, ma'am.
How can you be so unkind when you know how important my party is? You deserve some very nasty medicine. Just you wait till bedtime.
Oh, I don't think we should wait till then, ma'am. Why not go up and get changed? We'll clear up here, won't we? But we're not ill. I buy tickets and you can't make me. In fact, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Open, but... It's strawberry ice. Now you... I'm not sure I like strawberry ice. I'm not sure I care. Open. Mine, cordial. Now, off we go, you two. Michael, I know you like to keep things neat. Jane, I told you she was tricky. Must we? Can't Robertson A do it when he wakes up? He is a servant. With that attitude, you'll get through a lot of staff before you're very old. Besides, In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. You find the fun and snap. The job's a game, and every task you undertake becomes a piece of cake, a look, a spree. It's very clear to see that a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way. Oh, my point exactly. The honeybees that fetch the nectar from the flower to the comb never tire of ever buzzing to and fro, because they take a little nip from every flower that they sip, and they find their task is not a grind. For a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
Some sauces, please. It's hot.
Rum punch, my favorite.
Poppins, you're a miracle worker. Oh, how did you get them to do it?
Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in a most delightful way.
So, just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
Go down!
Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down.
In a most delightful way. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine go down. Just a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. In a most delightful way. In a most delightful way.
Come on, children, let's look forward.
Excuse me, Mom. Apparently these came this morning and Robert's and A forgot to give them to you. They're apologies, Mom, from your guests. They're not coming, none of them.
Oh, no. Oh, well, do you think we chose the wrong day?
No, I think you asked the wrong people.
In a most delightful way.
Mary Poppins, where are we going today? I thought we could play our next game. What game? It's called A Visit to the Bank. That's not a game. Did Daddy agree? If he did, you must have put the idea into his head somehow. What an impertinent thing to say. Me putting ideas into other people's heads. Really?
I always.
Decision and order, caught in a wheel, opening a ledger. a deal. Prudent investment, financial sense. Our perfect ray of sunshine, pounds, shillings, and pence.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning. Great men have dreams of power and position, and it's our job to back them to the hilt. For shrewd investment and advice, they'll pay our price, the bedrock on which banks are built. Mr. Banks, a word. I see that Herr Von Hustler is coming in again today. Have you made your decision?
I believe so, sir.
Good, good. Be sure it's the right one.
Every transaction, credit or debt, sheets are all unbalanced, targets are met.
Herr Banks, what objections do you have? My security is more than accurate, and Latin America is an expanding market. What does the matter? Have you no courage?
But Mr. Von Hustler, what I haven't been able to grasp is, what exactly is your final product?
What do you think? Money, of course.
Yes, money, but making money out of money. Is that enough?
Are you man enough to be a banker? Great men have dreams of building an empire. Makes their name in many distant lands. And in the new world, I am told, will soon strike gold. Let's seize that chance with both our hands.
Have you come to your decision, Mr. Banks? There's a town of good people whose future depends on you.
I know that.
Give us a chance, you won't regret it. The factory could be up and running in weeks and expanding before the year's out. Please, Mr. Banks, I've given it all I've got, believe me.
I do believe you, Mr. Northbrook, but I just can't find the collateral.
Collateral? What about my workforce? Decent men who want a better life? There's my collateral. My men have dreams to earn an honest living, a wife and kid, a home to call their own. If you'd invest in us today, it paves the way. I promise we'd repay the loan.
I'm sorry, Mr. Northbrook, but I just can't.
Hello, Daddy!
What on earth are you doing here? Can't you see I'm busy?
No, we're done here. And no man should be too busy for his own children. Now what are you here for, young man? Have you come for some money as well?
Hardly. What would he need money for?
Well, it's never too early to learn its value.
I know its value. 6 pence.
No, that's its worth. Its value is how you spend it. Do good and you may have good luck.
And what do you say to Mr. Northbrook? Thank you.
I'll wait outside.
Really, Mary Poppins? What is the meaning of this? I'm not without a sense of humor, but this is...
Aren't you, Daddy?
No, I am not. But when I was a little boy, I would have never dared interrupt my father.
Were you ever a little boy?
Of course I was. But my nanny, Miss Andrew, kept me out of my father's way, and he'd have been very annoyed if she hadn't.
What about your mother?
I shouldn't think I saw either of them more than once a week.
Didn't they mind?
Mind? They were glad to be rid of me. What's the matter?
Poor Daddy.
Poor? What do you mean, poor? That's what made me the man I am today. Eh, Mary Poppins?
Yes, I'm afraid it did.
That's enough. You've seen where I work, and I have a great deal to do.
Daddy, when you invest the bank's money, what are you looking for? A good man or a good idea?
I suppose I should say a good idea, but a good man is much more valuable and much rarer.
Come along, children.
Mr. Von Hustler, I've considered your arguments, but I'm afraid my answer is no.
So you don't recognize a good idea?
Perhaps not, but I recognize a good man when I see one.
You shall regret this, Herr Banks.
A man has dreams that life hasn't broken. A man with hopes, ambitions to fulfill. A man you're certain at first glance deserves a chance. Now, Mr. Northbrook, when exactly could the factory open?
Thank you, sir. You won't regret this.
look past what you see. Early each day to the steps of St. Paul's, the little old bird woman comes. In her own special way to the people she calls.
Come, buy my bags full of crumbs. Come feed the little birds, show them you can, and you'll be glad if you do. The young ones are hungry, their nests are so bad. All it takes is tuppence from you. Feed the birds, tuppence a bag. Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bird.
Feed the birds, that's what she cries, while overhead her birds fill the skies.
What are you doing?
I'm going to give her my sixpence.
What a waste.
That's a matter of opinion. Here, one bag, please. Save your sixpence, Michael. All around the cathedral, the saints and apostles look down as she sells her wares. Although you can't see them, you know they are smiling each time someone shows that he cares. Her words are simple and few. Listen, listen, she's calling to you.
Feed the birds, tuppence a bag.
Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a bag. All gone. Michael.
Tuppence, tuppence, tuppence a
Well, you don't say. Well, here she is now, you can tell her yourself.
Isn't that Miss Lockstar? Willoughby, don't interrupt when someone's barking. You were saying? Really? Well, if she keeps wandering off like that, perhaps you should consider keeping her on a lead. Willoughby! Ah, look, here she comes now. Willoughby! Willoughby, it's all right. Mommy's here. Willoughby. You know, sometimes you'd almost think he could talk. Willoughby! But can Willoughby really talk?
Of course he can. Getting him to stop is the problem.
How do you learn to talk dog? How do you think? Master the grammar
Practice when you can.
and avoid mongrels. Far too much
then.
then. Now, I can't just stand here all day talking shop. Talking shop? What a silly expression. There's nothing silly about it in the least. What do you buy in the talking shop? Conversations, of course. Well, I've never seen a talking shop. Well, there is only one, and it belongs to Mrs. Corey. Who's Mrs. Corey?
Who's Mrs. Corey? Mrs. Corey is older than anyone in the world. She talked to William before he went conquering, to Vlad before he went to Paling, and even to Alexander, when he weren't so great.
We'll have to call her at her shop in the park. There's no shop in the park. Remember, anything can happen if you let it.
That's it! I've run out
Poppins, and Jen and Michael Banks.
She knows us?
And ours poor little Georgie.
Who?
Georgie Banks. Your father. But he used to give Eastern the slip and come to my shop here in secret.
That can't have been the same George Banks. That would have been more than 40 years ago. And no one can remember back that far.
Listen, dearie, I remember everything. I remember that your father used to love my gingerbread. I wonder if we have any left. Annie, Fanny, look lively.
Yes, Mother?
Come, come. There you are. Gingerbread pieces with gingerbread stars. Ah! George used to save his stars. Now, Mary Poppins, what can I do for you?
Well, I did want an ounce of conversation.
I've run out of conversations, and I'm right out of words, too. I've had a lot of chatterboxes in here today. Yeah. But let me see what I have left. Oh! I do have some letters. And a little bit of backshot. Okay. An ounce, you say, that'll be 15 letters. Take your pick.
Jane, you can choose 7. I've got a D, G, R, U, C, L, and I. They're no good. You can't make any conversations. Michael, your turn. 7 more. A, F, S, E, T, O, and P. And I'll choose an X. Now, what words can we make? Well, I see dog and cat.
Right up legs, that's 9.
Lapito Ferris, that's 11. Nearly there.
Those don't count. You make them up.
And where do you think words came from in the first place? Somebody had to make them up.
Now, we can always use the same letters more than once. Let me see. Super, caliph, fragilistic, expialidocious.
That's not a word.
Of course it's a word, and unless I'm very much mistaken, I think it's going to prove a rather useful one. When trying to express oneself, it's frankly quite absurd to leaf through lengthy lexicons to find the perfect word. A little spontaneity keeps conversation keen. You need to find a way to say precisely what you mean. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Diddle-diddle-lie, diddle-diddle-lie,
It will be exactly what you wanted to do.
diddle-lie.
Some age meant the chatter, simply grunting would suffice.
Now if they heard this word, they might have used it once or twice.
I'm sure Egyptian pharaohs would have brought it in Egypt. Then every single pyramid would bear this hieroglyph. Oh, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Say it and wild animals do not sing so ferocious.
And some further flourishes in Surreal Cocoa Cabochas.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Diddle-diddle-lie, diddle-diddle-lie, diddle-diddle-lie.
The Druids could have carved it on their mighty monoliths.
The ancient Greeks, I'm certain, would have used it in their myths.
I'm sure the Roman Empire only entered the office because those Latin scholars never had a word like this.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
If you say it softly, the effect can be hypnotic.
Check your breath before you speak and type it how it sounds.
Oh, Bert!
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Diddle-diddle-lie, diddle-diddle-lie, diddle-diddle-lie.
Of course you can say it backwards, which is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
She may be tricky, but she's bloody good.
So when the cat has got your tongue, there's
those 18 consonants and 16 vowels as well, and put them in an order which is very hard to spell.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F
F
R-A-T-I-N
L
I-S-T-I-C-E-S-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-O-U-S
Smarty Pants
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-O-U-S S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-O-U-S S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-O-U-S
Here we go!
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. 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 Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
S-U-P-E-R C-A-L-I-F R-A-G-I-L I-S-T-I-C-E-X-P-I-A-L-I-D O-C-I-O-U-S Here we go!
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll always sound precocious. Supercalifragilistic,
Supercalifragilistic Winds may blow, but used to know exactly which it's bringing. Good news or bad, happy or sad, the pendulum keeps swinging.
Right, put the steps there and stand back. You never come near that vase, no one else but me neither. That is an heirloom.
Heirloom.
And while I do this, stay totally immobile.
Immobile.
Do not move a muscle.
Muscle.
Do not breathe. You hear me?
I might as well be dead.
Don't give me ideas.
A game is played, a change is made, but still the road is long. And though they might yet fly a kite, sometimes the wind's too strong.
George, what's happened? Are you ill?
No. Should I be?
No, of course not. Only, why are you home so early? Is everything all right?
No, everything's all wrong.
My dear, what is it?
If you must know, it seems I've refused a loan to some German chap, and he's gone to the enemy bank and made a fortune out of it.
Well, they can't expect you to get it right every time.
Can't they? It's exactly what they expect.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Even though the sound of it is something quite atrocious, if you say it loud enough, you'll...
That is more us. Upstairs, now! Where's my briefcase? Jane? Michael? Will you give it to me? You're their mother! Can't you do something about this?
Well, I can try not shouting for a start.
Mary Poppins, you ought to teach these children manners. And just look at them. They're a pair of little savages. If I had my way, you'd be out of here.
George! You're tired. Mary Poppins, don't bring the children downstairs tonight. Mr. Banks is quite exhausted. Perhaps you could keep them occupied?
I hope you haven't forgotten, ma'am. Tonight's my evening out.
What? I have forgotten. I suppose the best people wouldn't ask you to change your plans.
No, ma'am, they wouldn't.
I thought not.
That's not fair. Daddy loses his temper and we're shut up in the nursery. That's mean and rotten, and I hate him.
Jane, take that back this instant. I will not have you criticize your father.
Why not? He criticizes you. Last week he said you were neither use nor ornament.
How dare you?
I heard him say that, so did you.
Sometimes people say things they don't mean. Take the children upstairs. Please, Mary Poppins. George,
What is it?
I thought you might like to talk about it.
Don't be ridiculous.
I'm serious, George. If you have troubles, I'd like to share them.
Don't worry, you will. The fact is, I've been suspended by the bank, without salary, until they decide what to do with me.
Twists and turns, ups and downs. One moment smiles, next moment frowns. But bad-tempered faces have the urge change quick. 'Cause if the wind changes, the face might just stick. Chim chimani chim chim cherry chim charoo.
It's not fair. You're going out to make it left on your own. You've plenty of toys to play with. I don't want to. They're boring. They might say the same thing about you. Why does Daddy get so cross? Fathers are supposed to look after the children, not yell at them all the time. Maybe. But have you ever thought of who looks after the fathers when things go wrong? Mothers, I suppose. Not the children. Wouldn't that be rather upside down? Some families are upside down, for a while anyway. I don't want to live in an upside down family. I wish I could run away. Why don't you? Somebody might have got you. But you miss me. No, I couldn't. I could have all your toys. No, you could not. Yes, I could, and I jolly well would. Give that to me. Now look what you've done. That's no way to treat Valentine. What's he ever done to you? He's a doll, silly. He can't do anything. That's all you two, into bed at once. But we haven't had our milk. There'll be no butter and no milk either. If you can't be good, you may as well be sorry. Poor Valentine. Go inside and make yourself presentable. I wish you'd just leave us alone. Be careful of the things you wish for. I won't go to bed, and you can't make me. In that, as in so many things, your information is faulty. Playing the game, taking your turn. Some children lose, some children learn. Treat the toys nicely and maybe they'll treat you the same. Playing the game. Are you feeling any better, Valentine? Much better, thank you. Tempers are frayed, tempers are lost. Nobody stops to think of the cost. Oh, my arm again. Oh dear, children who lose their temper will lose everything else in the end. They're not playing the the bear, thrown on the forehead, neglected, and they were to playing the game. Please tell them, Mary Poppins.
Why don't you tell them? What's happening to the toys?
Make them go falling back in their books.
Why? You've hurt them and called them names. Now, it's their turn. Summon the toys. Now is the time to tell of your woes, to tell of their crime.
Cry, cry.
Come one, come all, enter the fray. They need to hear what you have to say.
Those girls and boys, they toss and sway,
We'll treat all this way.
dances are fun.
Dances are fun, so why should we stay?
They stamp and shout,
They stamp and shout,
create such a fuss. We need to learn the value of us.
Well, you think you know everything. I couldn't agree more. Jane,
Well, they're our toys, and we'll do what we like with them. So there.
so there indeed.
Playing the game, having a ball. Those who won't play shan't play at all. Will we meet again when they've learned to play the game?
Is that you, Bert?
Up where the smoke is all billowed and curled, between pavement and stars is the chimney sweet's world, where there's hardly no day, nor hardly no night. There's things off in shadows and pathways in light, on the rooftops of London. Whew, what a sight!
So you're a sweep now, are you?
Best view in the world, eh? And who gets to see it? The birds, the stars, and the chimney sweeps. That's gonna be it, eh? Now as the ladder of life has been strung, you may think a sweep's on the bottommost rung. There I spends me time in the ashes and smoke. In this all wide world, there's no happier bloke. Chim chimney, chim chim chimney. The sweep is as lucky can be. Chim chimney, chim chim chimney.
Good luck will rub off when he shakes hands with you.
Oh, blow me a kiss,
Bert,
and that's lucky too. So you're going then?
the wind has changed.
But they're good kids, Mary.
Would I be bothering with them if they weren't? But I can't help them if they won't let me. There's no one so hard to teach as the child who knows everything.
So?
So they've got to do the next bit on their own.
Chim chimney, chim chimney, chim chim chimney.
When you're with the sweep, you're in glad
I bet.
Chim, 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 cherry. When you're with the sweep, you're in glad company. Nowhere is there a more happier crew than them's what sings chim, chim, cherry, chim, charoo. Chim, chimney, chim, chim, cherry, chim, charoo.
Real that? Keep an eye on them for me. She can't have left us. Oh, yes, she can. She's taken all of our toys. What does the note say? What in the name of heaven are you two doing out here? Where's Mary Poppins? Gone.
Gone? Well, that doesn't take the bloomin' biscuit.
Mary, Miss Brill, what does au revoir mean?
Why?
Because she's written it in the note. Dear Jane and Michael, keep playing the games. Au revoir, Mary Poppins.
It's French, I know that. You mean good luck? Is it called bless you? Well, I remember. Till we meet again. Now come inside before you catch your death.
Please welcome back the Telegrammers.
You would not believe how hard it was to track her down.
Really, Mom? Fancy that.
Or they get through nannies for a flippin' pastime. Now the one returns to make this fearful fuss. Never liked her much when she was here the last time.
At least she makes life easier for both of us.
Mrs. Brill, it's her, isn't it?
I don't know who else.
Do you think that she's returned to get things back the way they were? The note says, till we meet again. I just know it must be
Oh
her.
my goodness, she'll be here any moment. Where is George? George, dear, you're going to be surprised.
Winifred, you very well know I hate surprises at the best of times.
Oh, not this one. Oh, George, I do think you'll be proud of me for once. Precision and order, it's perfectly true. It can really make a difference. I found her for you. They're thinking, sound judgment, and now we'll regain a home you can be proud of in Cherry Tree Lane. Hurry up, everybody, into the hall. I want you to find everything. Spit, spot, spick, and span.
Spick and span. Our sense of excitement is hard to contain.
Order is returning.
Wonder is returning. Someone is returning to Cherry Tree Lane.
Good morning.
The Holy Tavern!
Oh, Miss Andrew, so lovely to meet you at last. I do hope you had a safe journey.
It was thoroughly unpleasant. I never enjoyed travel. You must be poor George's wife. Your flower beds are disgracefully untidy. Take my advice. Plant evergreens. Or better still, have nothing there at all. Just a plain cement courtyard.
Oh, but Miss Andrew, I am so fond of flowers.
Then you are a very silly woman. Where did George go?
I'm afraid he had an urgent appointment.
For which no doubt he was late, as usual. It's not much of a house, is it?
We like it.
Then it doesn't take a lot to keep you happy. Look at the dust. There and there. Filth.
Oh, we are rather short-staffed at the
Hasn't
moment.
anyone ever cleaned those carpets?
Oh my!
That's just the thing! You must be the children. Pity. I don't suppose you know who I am.
Yes, we do. You're the Holy Terror.
Impudent boy! You're Jane, I suppose. Why isn't your hair in braids?
I don't like them.
What manners! I can see there is not a minute to lose. These children have been spoiled. I've arrived here just in time. By chance I brought the punishment that best befits the crime. Brimstone and treacle and cod liver oil, liberal doses of each. These are the treats from which children recoil, the lessons I'm going to teach. Just follow my model and don't mollycoddle, it may lead the irksome to irk. Just seek satisfaction, punitive action. Brimstone and treacle will work. Open.
Does it taste as bad as it smells?
Works.
Do I have to?
Open. Brimstone and treacle and carbolic soap. These are the jewels of my trade. With spoonfuls of sugar, you don't have a hope of seeing that changes are made. Where manners are chronic, my teacher's the tonic that's certain to wipe off a smirk. Just pour out a ration in matronly fashion. Brimstone and treacle will work. Your son will go to boarding school at once. And as for the girl, I shall take charge of her myself. I won't stand for whining or whinging or whimpering, crying or lying or sobbing or simpering. I hear it clear that it leads to such bad habits learned. First catch into throttle, then uncork the bottle. Brimstone and treacle will work. Now,
Easy now. Old Freddy gonna hurt you?
Oh, Buzz, it's you. You're filthy.
Perhaps a smudge or two. Just so happens today I'm a chimney sweep. Now, what's the matter and who's after you?
The nastiest nanny in the world.
The nastiest nanny in the world, eh? Well, you two should know you've been through enough of them. Is she really as bad as all that?
She looks like something that would eat its young. Mr. Andrew was Daddy's nanny.
Which explains a lot.
Poor Daddy. Ever since he stopped walking, he just sits and nopes. Mary Poppins used to say he needed our help, but now it's too late.
I wouldn't say that. I tell you what, how about we start things off with a bit of a shake for good luck?
Why would shaking hands with you bring us luck?
Didn't anyone ever tell you it's lucky to shake a sweep's hand?
Well, what do you do if you want some luck?
Well, I shake hands with myself. Now, what do we have here?
Michael, look, it's a real one. What's the matter? You've always wanted to fly a proper kite. I've always wanted to fly one with Daddy.
Of course you have, but you need to know how it's done. Get some training in, and you'll make him the proudest father in the country.
You really think so? You're not just saying that?
Did I say country? Oh, Bloomin' Empire more like. With tuppence for paper and strings, you can have your own set of wings. With your feet on the ground, you're a bird in flight, with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Oh, let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite.
Try again?
Try again.
What's this? We don't allow litter here.
It isn't litter, it's a kite.
Oh, a kite, is it? My word it is. Why, I haven't flown a kite since I was a boy. Now we'll wind her up, give her a run, and away she'll go.
But I want to do it.
You'll let me help you, won't you? Seeing as I haven't flown a kite since I was a boy.
All right.
When you send it flying up there, all at once you're lighter than air. You can dance on the breeze over houses and trees with your fist holding tight to the string of your kite. Oh, let's go fly a kite up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring up through the atmosphere, up where the air is clear. Oh, let's go fly a kite.
Reel it in!
I can't! It's stuck! I'll help!
Let me.
Come on, Michael, I know you can do it. Try one more time.
I knew it! Oh, Mary Poppins, I knew you'd come back!
Don't squeeze, I'm not a sardine in a tin. And where are your coats?
We didn't have time to put them on.
And why not, may I ask?
Because we've run away.
Have you indeed?
It's been so awful since you went away, and Miss Andrews come, and Daddy's ruined, and we were too stupid to hear what you were saying.
Oh my eye, your life's a tragedy. Now, let's go home and don't dawdle.
But she's there. She came this morning as a surprise for Daddy.
Did she? Well, maybe I'll be a surprise for her. That was a lovely greeting, Bert.
Glad to have you back, Mary. You're a sight for sore eyes.
You really are. Welcome back, Mary Poppins.
Now listen here. It's against regulations coming up from the sky like that. And where from? I'd like to know, eh? Where from?
If I were a park keeper, I should straighten my cap and button my coat. Come along, children.
Aren't you going to shake hands with Bert for luck?
No.
Why not?
Illusions may shatter, but memories stay. The things that really matter, I lost on the way. The sovereign, the master, and long may he reign. The famous good for nothing of Cherry Tree Lane.
They're way home in no time. Let's face it, man, they've practiced before.
But this time they're not being naughty. I'm afraid I've made them unhappy. I'm afraid I've made everyone unhappy.
They'll turn up soon. Don't you worry.
Thank you. George, dear, I know it hurts your pride, dear. But you can't just run and hide, dear. Why can't you see that I'm here? And I am on your side. Whenever you spoke of Miss Andrew, you showered the woman with praise. But now that I've met dear Miss Andrew, there are one or two things I'd rephrase. To think you were raised by that monster and carried that burden through life. If only you had seen that you could share it with your wife. Being Mrs. Banks, it's easy to forget the way I felt that summer's day, the day that we first met. Being Mrs. Banks, being kissed by you, man of dreams who made me feel that wishes would come true. And now, although you're lost, it's time that we close ranks. I'll fight for the man who needs freeing, the real you who no one is seeing, and you'll find a way of just being Mr. Banks.
Perhaps she's killed everyone. Perhaps they're all dead.
Not like that, you stupid boy!
Well, they're not all dead. What's that noise? It's a bird I might have known. Did she? Well, frankly, that's not a surprise. Locked in this cage and not free in the skies for 2 years. How shameful. Yes, of course, that's a field I know well. An hour no longer, your wings will grow stronger. Once you are free from this cell. What kind of bird is it? A lark. You were seeing a lark in its cage for the first time. And the last. My pleasure. Oh, don't mention it.
I'm going downstairs to fetch Caruso, my lark. Oh, children. I see you've decided to come crawling back now, have you? Well, I think that we both know what's needed now. Brimstone and shriek, my favorite liquor, that will make runaway stop. Impudent children respond so much quicker when forced to drink every last drop.
Is this what you're looking for?
Who are you?
I'm Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. But you left without notice.
And I've come back without notice.
I see. And what do you expect me to do?
Pack.
Pack? Insolent young person. How dare you speak to me in this way? Silly little girl with your newfangled methods. I bring up children so they know their place. Standing for tradition, I govern my charges.
Handle charges blow up in your face.
I brought up their father.
But I don't doubt you must be so proud at the way he turned out.
A shining example, a pillar.
A post, they all have their problems, but him more than those.
Oh, Caruso! Caruso, my lord! You let my little lock out of his cage. Now you will bear the full brunt of my rage. Brimstone and treacle for you. Brimstone and treacle
Just a
for you.
spoonful of sugar.
Brimstone and treacle
Just a
for you.
spoonful of sugar.
Brimstone and treacle
Just a
for you.
spoonful of sugar. Oh, 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 I recognize fully that you are a bully who views cruel deeds as a book. Well, now here's the catch, because you've done your much. Brimstone and treacle.
Brimstone and treacle.
Brimstone and treacle.
Oh, Mary Poppins! Oh, wherever did you come from?
She came from Michael.
Jane, Michael, is that you? Oh, thank heavens! But you're very naughty to go running off like that. And I should be as angry as anything if I weren't so pleased to see you. Oh, where's Miss Andrew?
She's gone.
Gone? Why?
She didn't give a reason, ma'am.
Oh, how peculiar. So, Mary Poppins, now that you're back, are you going to stay?
I'll stay for as long as necessary, ma'am.
Because the last time you left without a word of warning. How do I know you won't do it again?
You don't.
Excuse me, Mum. Oh, Constable, I'm so sorry to have bothered you, but it's quite all right. They're back.
Not all of them, ma'am.
What?
We found this one wandering in the park. Good night, ma'am.
George,
Where is she?
Miss Andrew? She left.
Left. But how?
She might have thought we were rude.
Rude? To Miss Andrew? Well, I can't forgive it, but I can try to forget. In fact, I'd have given you a sixpence if I had one.
George, you haven't noticed. Mary Poppins is back.
Ah, Mary Poppins. Well, well. I wonder if I might have a word. There's no point in beating about the bush. Things have not gone well since you
About
got...
my wages, sir. If you don't mind, I won't take any just now. I should prefer to let them accrue.
But Mary Poppins, if only you knew how many payments were accruing as...
George, is everything settled?
It is. Now, I must get started. Jane, Michael, this boat. Are the trains paying up, or is Mrs. Brill cooking?
Come along, darling. So you made a wrong decision. But how bad is that? After so many years of good service, what's the worst that could happen?
If I am to be dismissed by the bank, we'll be left destitute. The servants will leave us, the house will be repossessed, and we'll be left with nothing but the children at the frosty curbside.
But we'll still have what really matters. The children and each other.
You're practically perfect in every way.
I guarantee.
Practically perfect. We hope you'll stay.
Let's wait and see. Uncanny then is a hard to find. Unique yet sweet, unspeakably kind. I'm practically perfect, and yet I'm sure there's still room for improvement. A few things more.
Is that locket new?
And if it is,
What's inside it?
a portrait?
Who?
You'll know when the time comes and not before.
You're going to stay this time, aren't you, Mary Poppins?
I'll stay till the chain breaks.
What chain? Where?
Michael, do be careful. The room's a bit exciting to see me back. You never know what might happen around the fireplace.
Michael, come down! Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins! What's happening? Mary Poppins, Mary Poppins! Hello there! But what are you doing up here?
And where else would a chimney sweep be? A chimney swept, a secret kept, up here above the gables. Another world to be unfurled, it ain't just myths and fables. A chimney stack looks cool and black against the twilight sky. But never fear, there's warmth up here, perhaps you'll find out why.
What do I look like? That's better.
The world is awfully big, isn't it?
And what does that tell you?
That we're awfully small and unimportant.
Speak for yourself.
Not us so much, but our troubles. They seem so big down in the nursery, but up here,
Troubles are never so bad when you look at them from a little higher up. And always remember, there are plenty of folk ready to help when you should need them.
Who?
Chim chimani chim chimani chim chim cheree. Now guardian angels you don't often see. They're not highfalutin, not grand nor aloof. Now they're covered in soot and they're up on your roof.
chim chimani chim chim cheree.
See? It's true!
Brush away the dirt and soot.
Brush away your tears. Cobwebs that aren't swept away hang around for years. King always is a whole house. We can see for miles. Or idea heaven is. Night out on the side. We may look a motley crew. Sludge with tar and grime. But when we need a helping hand, try to step in just in time.
We will step in time. We will step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. We will step in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Over the rooftop, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Over the rooftop, step in time. Watch me step in time. Watch me step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Watch me step in time. Knees up, step in time. Knees up, step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Knees up, step in time.
Childhood is a step in time. Parenthood's the same. Never miss a chance to get it right.
Don't it seem a perfect crime? Don't it seem a shame when the steps are going as smoothly as they might.
Step in time. Here we go. Spin, 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 spin. Make your elbow step in time. Make your elbow step in time. Never need a reason, never need a rhyme. Make your elbow step in time. Make your elbow step in time. Step in time, step, step in time. There we go. the second time. Good night, the second time. Every reason everyone. Good night, the second time.
Good night, Governor.
Not so fast! Upstairs, now! Jane, you too! Mary Poppins, would you be good enough to explain?
First of all, I would like to make one thing clear.
Yes?
I never explain anything. Come along, children.
It's happened. The chairman wants to see me at the close of business tonight.
Tonight? Well, I'm going to come with you, and Joey will give that chairman a piece of my mind.
That will only make matters worse. I'm afraid we must face it. After tonight, I will have joined the ranks of the unemployed.
George, are you sure?
Quite sure. Which is why we better make plans. In fact, I'm afraid the time has come.
Oh, your mother's old vase. Won't you miss it terribly?
Needs must, my dear. We always said we were saving it for a rainy day. Tomorrow looks set to pour.
Oh, George, do be careful. Mrs. Brill, why don't we go into the kitchen? Come along. You'd better sit down.
Mrs. Brill, is that the dinner cooking?
Don't you start opening all the windows!
I was only going to say that it smells delicious.
Your world's gone upside down!
Well, I never. So that's where I put them.
What are they?
Stars. Gingerbread stars I once hid from my nanny. I always knew I'd hide them somewhere no one would ever find them. Trouble was, I couldn't find them myself.
They're very bright.
Aren't they? Even after all this time.
Yeah. Let me give you a hand.
I used to dream when I grew up, I'd learn everything there was to know about the stars. It's funny, I haven't thought about all that in years. Not usually sentimental.
It's good to look back sometimes.
Is it? I'm not so sure. A man has dreams of walking with giants, to carve his niche in the edifice of time, before the mortar of his zeal has the chance to congeal. The cup is dashed from his lips, the flame is snuffed a burning. He's brought to rack and ruin in his prime.
Life's a rumgo, Governor. And that's the truth.
You know what I think? It's Mary Poppins. From the moment she stepped into this house, things began to happen to me. My world was calm, well-ordered, exemplary. Then came this person with chaos in her wake. And now my life's ambitions go with one fell blow. It's quite a bitter pill to take. It's that Poppins woman. She's behind all this.
I know the very person. What's that thing she's always saying? A spoonful of sugar, that is all it takes. It changes bread and water into tea and cakes. A spoonful of sugar goes a long, long way. So have yourself an Elfie helping every
A healthy helping of trouble, if you ask me.
Like you say, Governor. You've got to grind, grind, grind at that grindstone, though childhood slips like sand through a sieve. And all too soon they've up and grown, and then they've flown. And it's too late for you to give just a spoonful of sugar to help the medicine go down, the medicine go down, medicine go down. Well, good luck, Governor.
And good luck to you too, Bert.
Father,
What is it?
we've come to say goodnight.
Ah, yes. Good night.
Daddy, do you remember when we came to the bank?
Yes?
Well, we were each given a sixpence and were told to spend them carefully.
Excellent advice. It's exactly what you should do. What did you spend it on?
Nothing yet. We've kept them. And now we've decided to give them to you.
And I suppose Mary Poppins put you up to this?
No, she hasn't said a word about it. We know it's been difficult for you lately, and we really have a bit of much help. So we thought a little bit of extra cash might loosen things up a little. It is a whole shilling.
Thank you.
Daddy, we do love you, you know.
Jane, do you remember when you asked me who Neleus's father was?
Yes.
It was Poseidon, king of the sea. Good night.
Mummy, Daddy's really worried, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he is. But just remember that he loves you very much, and that's far more important than jobs or houses or anything else.
Are you going to the bank with him?
I wish he'd let me, but he won't. If only there was someone to stand up for him, to take his part, to show what he's really like on the inside.
Can't he do that for himself?
Well, he's a man, and a very proud one.
Then you must go.
I'm just afraid it isn't possible,
Why not?
because I'm a woman.
Mary Poppins says anything's possible, if only we can get it our own way.
Oh, do you really believe that, Mary Poppins?
Anything can happen if you let it. Sometimes things are difficult, but you can bet it doesn't have to be so. Changes can be made. You can move a mountain if you use a larger spade. Anything can happen, it's a marvel. You can be a butterfly or just a novel. Stretch your mind beyond that housing. Dreams are made of strong elastic. Take some sound advice and don't forget it. Anything can happen if you let it.
I wonder. Anything can happen if you let it. You won't know a challenge until you've met it.
No one does it for you.
No one but yourself. Vacillating violins get left up on the shelf. Anything can happen, just imagine.
That should be my epitaph. I wear the badge in honor of these world's free thinkers.
Poppins, Poppins above. Eat the birds, sir. Only tuppence a bag.
I would take it as a great favor if you would kindly feed them for me.
Poppins, Poppins, Poppins above.
Precision and order, paying what cents, risking our investments, hedging our bets.
Mr. Banks is here.
Ah, come in, Banks. Trading in futures, jobs on the line.
Well, thanks. How did it happen? You turned down a scheme that was bound to make millions, and we want to know why.
Then I'll tell you. I refused Mr. Von Hustler because his scheme was hollow. It had no product, it had no substance, and it had no meaning outside the walls of a bank. He told me about products and assets and growth, but there just wasn't a word about people. I know that as far as you're concerned, if a man puts any value on real life, then he's considered a washout. But I'm afraid I do value a gentleman. In short, George Banks Esquire has rediscovered the human race. I apologize for ruining the bank, but I do not apologize for understanding that there are more important things in life than making money.
Ruining the bank. Ruining the bank? Oh, so, well. Ruining the bank. Oh, well, my dear chap, what are you talking about? You've saved our bacon. Oh, well, haven't you heard? Von Hustler's scheme has ruined our rival. Yes, you've kept us out of the nastiest scandal since records began. Why, we don't want your apologies. We're offering ours.
Oh my word!
Yes, and another thing. Do you remember giving a loan to a fellow called Northbrook? Well, he's repaying it and opening 2 new factories. With the percentage you negotiated, we look bound to make a fortune.
Oh my word!
Well, that's just it. We very much hope you might tell us how you did it. Just give us the word. It will be quite safe with us.
Give you the word? Give you the word? I'll give you the word, all right? Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Though the sound of it is something quite atrocious. If you say it loud enough, you'll only sound precocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Oh, thank you, sir.
Now, Banks.
Oh, forgive him! It's not his fault. It's all because of his nanny, Miss Andrew.
Oh, the holy terror! She taught me everything I know.
Then now's your chance to forget it.
That's right. And if you want to fight about it, then you come to the right woman.
Oh dear, it's all right, it's all right. I haven't lost the bank any money at all.
Really?
Gentlemen, madam, if you please, we still have some business to conduct. Banks, George, by way of recompense, we'd like to offer you the job of senior manager with salary at, double.
Exactly how much has he made for you?
Well, then, triple. Quadruple your present rate.
Close your mouth, George. We are not a codfish.
Well,
I accept, but you must understand one thing. From now on, my family comes first.
agreed?
Agreed.
Winifred, I'm afraid I've underestimated you. How can you ever forgive me?
How can you ask?
It was selfish of me to keep you off the stage, and you want to go back. I won't stop you.
Oh, no, I loved it. But I found a role I'd much rather prefer, and it's going to keep me very busy for an extremely long time.
Anything can happen, raise the curtain. Things you thought impossible will soon seem certain. Though at first it may sound clownish, see the world more upside downish. Turn it on its head and pirouette it.
Anything can happen if you let it.
If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars. But we've found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in. There are the stars. I want the constellations too. Do you indeed? I wonder you don't ask for the moon as well. If you reach for the stars, all you get are the stars. But we found a whole new spin. If you reach for the heavens, you get the stars thrown in. Anything can happen if you let it. Life is out there waiting, so go and get it. Grab it by the collar, seize it by the scruff. Once you've started living life, you just can't get enough. Anything can happen if you let it. There is a Sally forth the way we're steering. Obstacles are disappearing. Go and chase your dreams, you won't regret it. Anything can happen. Anything can happen.
Oh, Mary Poppins! That was the best yet! To be up in the heavens! Do you ever think we'll go there again?
Yes, someday.
Will it be soon?
Oh no, not for a very long time. You can always keep an eye on the stars till you return. Here,
But it's your telescope.
so it is. Keep it if you like. It's a present.
Thank you.
Now, run along in. It's getting cold.
I love you, Mary Poppins.
You're a fine boy, Michael Banks, and one day you will be a fine man.
Oh, Mary Poppins, it makes me so anxious when you talk like that.
Like what?
Oh, gentle and kind and not a bit like you. Be cross again, Mary Poppins. Do be cross.
Is that the thanks I get after the trouble I've taken?
That's better.
That's dainty, Bert.
They're yours, Mary. I painted them for you. It's tonight, isn't it?
Yes, Bert.
Well, goodbye then, Mary.
Goodbye, Bert. Look after yourself. Every job, when it's complete, there is a sense of bittersweet. That moment when you know the task is done. Oh, in your heart you'd like to stay, to help things on their there. Practically perfect. And I hope it remains so. What's happened? Something's changed. Mary Poppins' bag and the brill's gone. Look! It's Mary Poppins' lockets. Oh, the chain's broken. Don't you remember? I'll stay till the chain breaks. There's a note, too. What does it say? Michael had the telescope, so this is for you. It's a picture of the three of us. And it's signed, from Mary Poppins. With a good deal of love.
Mary Poppins?
She's gone.
Gone? How peculiar.
She'll be back. But what do you think of this?
Oh, Daddy, it's the best I've ever seen!
Could we fly it together?
Oh, Daddy! Mary Poppins won't be coming back.
Oh, my dear, how can you possibly know such a thing?
Because we don't need her. Not anymore. And other families will. Won't they, Daddy?
They will.
I wonder if she's right, George. Maybe we don't need a nanny after all. What do you think?
I think you should come and dance with me.
Oh, George, I'm serious.
Look, a shooting star.
Here, you can borrow my telescope.
I was right. Wish on it, children. My dearest love.
We won't forget you, Mary Poppins. We'll never forget.
I'm very excited to see what you guys do with it. But before I say anything else, the man who actually wrote all the songs for it, Richard Sherman.
My son and biographer, because he actually did a film on the brothers Sherman, my brother Bob and myself, called The Boys, and you might have seen that. You'll know that was my son's work. But I'm very thrilled to be here. You know, if this was a sample of what I'm going to be listening to in the next couple of hours, I'm overjoyed because you sound so great on Fly a Kite. And that's one of my very favorite songs on the show because it was a tough thing to come up with that song. We wanted to know, how do you finish the movie? How do you end it? After all, the Mary Poppins is going to fly away. We know that because she's done her job. She's taught the family to respect each other and love each other and all these things. So we tried to think of something that would, make it happen. And Fly a Kite just came it flew into our brains, so our collective brains. Why? Well, because of the fact that we wanted the father to take it upon himself to not think about himself, but think about what the kids would enjoy. So he gave that spoonful of sugar to the kids. And the inspiration came from the fact that my dad, my brother also shared his joy, had a wonderful dad. We both used to be taken out on Sundays and fly kites, and Dad would make the kites for us. And in this case, we had to repair this broken kite in the film, which is a symbolic of the family, which is kind of a broken family, which got together again. So basically, all these things are organic. They came out of the story that we were telling. I think one of the secrets to all good shows and good songs is a story that you're trying to tell. You're trying to impart something that really means something. And so many of these songs have a lot of meaning. That's just fun. That's just a lot of fun. It gave the kids something to make them feel good about. But Spoonful of Sugar, for example, has nothing to do with sugar. It has to do with a happy attitude, a bright attitude, a positive attitude. Makes a tough job easier. And that's what we were saying without saying that. We said spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. And Feed the Birds, thank you, my son is killing me. And Feed the Birds, again, is another song that has symbolism in it because of the fact there's nothing to do with the cost of breadcrumbs. Tuppence means 2 pennies, a bag of breadcrumbs. That's not what it's about. It means it doesn't take very much to give love, to give understanding, to give thought to other people, to your children, to your neighbors, to your friends. This is what it's all about, how it doesn't take much to give love. And so we said it with Feed the Birds. It was very meaningful to us because of the fact that when Bob and I, my brother Bob and I were first introduced to this book, and we read these various stories that were written by Mrs. Pamela Travers, the lady who wrote the books, we saw this as a symbol of what our story could be, and that is, it doesn't take much to give love. The father has to show the family, the kids particularly, I care about you, I want to fix your kite, I want to fly it for you. And so therefore, we came up with this thought. And when we played Feed the Birds for Walt Disney the first time, many, many years ago, we played a lot of songs for him that day, and we told him our story of how we would tell the stories of Mary Poppins. And he said, play me that Bird Lady song again. So I played, it was what we had of it at the time, again. And he said, that's the whole story in a nutshell, isn't it? And we said, that's right, Walt. That's what it's all about. And he said, how'd you like to work here? And that's when he gave us the job to become his staff writers. And we were his staff writers for 7.5 years while he was with us, and then many years since. And I'm still involved in Disney even as of today. So it's a wonderful marriage between the Walt Disney dreams and the Sherman Brothers dreams. And have you any questions? Anybody have a question? Don't be afraid to raise your hand, because there you go, please. What made me interested in music? My father was a songwriter, a very successful one back in the 20s and 30s, and it was a natural thing for me. My mother was a musician, she played piano beautifully, and she was an actress. And so those things just drew me into this world. I just felt compelled, almost like having an itch you've got to scratch, I had to do it. And nothing else appealed to me. So that's how I became a songwriter. I just had a compulsion for it. Yes.
Did you get to work with any of the actors in the movie?
Oh yeah, we worked with all the actors. I mean, with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke, and yeah, I was working with Dick Van Dyke last week. He's still good friends, and Julie is a good friend. We've been friends for 55 years. It's a long, long time, and she's wonderful. And yes, we worked directly with the actors. We taught them how to interpret. What did I do last week? Oh, well, we were at a D23. It's a convention. Oh, Jungle. Oh, my son is my coach. Yeah. We did a film called Jungle Book. You might have seen it. It was a wonderful animated film, Disney. And now they're going to do a new version of it, and it's going to be with CG, which is a special kind of animation where it's almost real. You can believe the animals are real animals, and it's not animated except for the little boy Mowgli in the stories. And they have a new character, a new incarnation of the character of King Louis, who was played by Louis Prima, the jazz man. But now we're going to do it with a scary ape, a gigantic ape, called a Gigantopithecus. Isn't that a great word? Well, being a songwriter, I love that. They said, we're going to have a new set of lyrics for this. I said, can I use that word in the songs? Can you do that? I said, oh, I love to do that. That's fantastic. So we have a thing where you might think it's magnificus, that me, a Gigantopithecus, you'll see it in the picture, it's going to be funny. But that's a little preview of what we're doing. So I'm still working for Disney. I'm still doing a lot of things for him. And you, young man over here, wanted a question. Oh, was there over here? Yes, dear. What was it like working at the Walt Disney Studio when Walt Disney was alive? It was wonderful. It was a writer's heaven because of the fact that he was so creative himself, and he could take an abstract idea and plus it and give you extra ways to develop it. And he was very tough on those people because he expected the best all the time, and he didn't want to waste time on mediocrity. He'd just say, yeah, that's okay, we've done that, and then he would drop it. Or he'd say, yeah, there's possibilities in this, what you could do is do this and this and this. He would always kind of steer us and help us. He was a very brilliant, wonderful man, Walt Disney. Yes, dear. Yes. Pardon? The favorite song that I wrote, oh gosh, if you have like 750 children, how do you pick out the child you love the most? It's very hard. I always say, let me say it to you this way. I think the songs we wrote for Mary Poppins are the best songs we've ever written. And I love that. I love the story. I loved everything about it. It was very meaningful to me. And I truly am looking forward to your interpretation. I know it's going to be great. I'm looking forward to that. That's my favorite score, yes.
Is this the first time I've seen it? Oh, no.
Is this the first time I've seen a version? First time I've seen your version, I will say that. No, I have seen a lot of versions of Mary Poppins. Oh, over the years, it plays everywhere now, and happily. And I've been there from the beginning, from the movie, and then from all the incarnations on the stage. Many of them. Yes, young lady. What was Disneyland like back then? It was great. It was always wonderful. It's got better stuff than ever now, and I'm really excited about that.
Disneyland and Disney Studios, when my dad first started working there, it wasn't like how we all think of Disneyland and everything Disney is so enormous. He had just opened the parks, there weren't a lot of songs in it. He had a weekly TV show, but he didn't really write big movies. Walt Disney wrote cartoon movies every few years. They'd come out, and he wasn't really thought of like Universal Studios or Warner Brothers or any of the big Paramount Pictures. He wanted to be like that, and Mary Poppins, the film, was the movie that really put Walt Disney Studios on the map as a major movie entity that made them the kind of movie studio that you guys all know. When you see a Disney movie, you know what you're getting. And Walt did, before Mary Poppins, it was just a cartoon factory. It wasn't really a major movie studio that it is today. And same with Disneyland. Disneyland didn't really have music in the park, so when my dad and uncle got hired, they got to write It's a Small World and the Tiki Room and all of these Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow and all these wonderful songs for the park and give it a kind of life that you guys all enjoy today. And I guess we all kind of take for granted, but it wasn't always like that. So,
Young lady here, do I have a favorite ride at Disneyland? Well, I sure do. And I think that every single time we go there, we go to It's a Small World first. Yes. Oh, we have to get, listen, now it's your turn. I want you guys to break a leg. You know what that means? It's an expression in show business when they say break a leg. It's wishing you well. It's wishing you good luck. And basically what it comes from, and I'll demonstrate, is in the old days, the Shakespearean days, when the performers finished their performance, they would all get up, clasp hands together, and bow from the waist like so. But if the audience really kept on cheering and bowing, they'd break the line of their leg and cross like so. And that meant break a leg. It meant break the line of your leg and take a deep bow. And so I hope you all will take a deep bow today, and I know you will. Thank you so much for coming.